Hi, this is Bob, your light partner from Along the Consciously Evolving Road, and delighted to spend the afternoon with Brian Kelly, who's one of the facilitators of the OPAL tour. Everybody's a leader of themselves on the OPAL tour.
Yeah.
And just wanted to spend a couple of minutes sharing with the folks that we have contact with about the OPAL tour. So we're going to ask you kind of, how did this get started? And maybe we can talk a little bit about exciting things that have happened thus far, and where are you going now?
Sure.
Well,
we started in Tehachapi last weekend, which is in Southern California. Beautiful property. Was there for the weekend, and now we're making our way all the way across the country. And let's see, we're here just outside of Sedona now. Tomorrow we leave for Roswell, New Mexico, do some fun stuff with the Galactics. Then we go to Carlsbad Caverns. Then we head over to do ceremony in Thunder Ranch, Texas with the Hopi elders.
Wow.
They invited us onto their land because we explained to them what the tour is all about, and they've really looked at this and started looking at their own prophecy and saying that, you know, these are the kinds of things they've been expecting to happen, so they've been waiting for us, essentially.
Wow.
And then from there, we take a jump over the pond to Norway for 10 days. We have a big following over there. And then we come back and we go to Florida and North Carolina. But the idea, you know, was really based on a couple of meetups that we had. One in Montana, one in North Carolina, and then a few months ago, some of us that have been doing the radio shows together in Africa and Morocco. And really what we found is that when people of like mind gather and they commune, I mean, we had some really interesting things happen when we were in the desert. I mean, Bob, who's an African-American man, his eyes turned blue.
Wow.
My right eye grew this little crystal thing underneath my pupil. And we came back there from there in a total state of expanded consciousness, and our lives have never been the same since. And what we found is that when people of like mind gather, miracles can occur. You know, we had, after our gathering in North Carolina, which I wasn't at, the groups gathered. They said they don't want to go back to the life they had been living before. They don't want to go back to the monotony of everyday living.
Wow.
And so they started a living without money community, and they're bartering with people around town. And, you know, there's so much that, you know, the illusion has been created that we are dependent upon our government, that we are dependent on these failing systems, you know, politics and finance, and, you know, the FDA and the pharmaceutical industry. I mean, these are all dying energetic frequencies. This is really all they are, energetic frequencies that are no longer supported. So we can either continue paying our energy into these things and rely on them for our sustenance, or we can look to each other and start relying on each other and start to really embody the idea of living in a new paradigm, because it starts and stops with us. It's not anything that happens external. It starts here and it manifests outward. So, you know, with this tour, we've gotten to a place where we are not going to depend or rely on anything outside of ourselves to come in and save the day. We're taking our personal responsibility and liability to claim the empowerment that has always been ours, reclaim it, because empowerment is an amazing tool when you can really tap into our God force that allows us the opportunity to do amazing things. But until we start really believing in ourselves, believing that we have the power to create something new, believing that we have each other to lean upon during times of suffering or need or what have you, knowing full well that every experience that comes your way is an opportunity for growth and expansion, then life becomes an adventure like it was always meant to be. And when you live your life like an adventure, there are no missteps. It's just challenges and opportunities, and who knows what can happen in that space. Anything can happen.
Well, it's the tour must be so exciting opportunity for expansion, like you say, like-minded people showing up on your doorstep, as we've done here. And we studied the last couple of years with futurist Marvin Marks Hubbard, and she talks about the breakdown before breakthrough. And we were involved in the Birth 2012 movement last year, which was all about declaring this is a new time. And we don't, you know, if this is the end of a time, that must mean there's a beginning of a time, and we choose to participate in what that beginning and creating creating with others what that beginning might look like. So it's very exciting to hear that you're going to spend time with the Hopi elders, and for them to reinforce and to support the energy of what you're doing and what the tour is accomplishing, because that's very, very exciting. The tour is so your destination is Florida, or is there someplace after that?
Yeah,
or?
we and every time we plan, the plans seem to constantly change.
Right.
So fluidity
We'll
is
see.
extremely important to
We'll
us.
see.
Well, here's what we have planned, and all plans always subject to change, as we've learned. When we get back from Norway, we have a big following over there. We're doing a conference over there. We're going to go back to Texas to pick up the rest of the group that's staying here. Then we're going to go to Jacksonville, Florida. And then we're going to end this leg of the tour in North Carolina, in Lake Norman and Asheville.
Okay.
And I believe we're going to wrap up this leg of the tour around the 16th of December. And then during the winter months...
Noel's birthday. Okay.
Perfect. Synchronicity once again. We're going to power down the RVs. Actually, we're going to bring one of them back to the West Coast to convert it into a water-powered, to where we're not reliant upon fuel, because one of the aspects of this tour is free energy, and we have access to some technology that will allow us to decrease our need of fossil fuels. And then so during the winter months, around January, we're going to take the whole movement, for lack of a better word, over to Australia and do the same thing along the Gold Coast to get people going there. So there really is no end date. We're learning as we go, rolling with some of the punches as they do come in, and just continue to collect the energy and move forward with the amount of momentum that we accrue, the energetic momentum really, along the way, and who knows where it'll go.
Wow, fantastic. Well, it's nice to spend time with you. We know that it was not any coincidence whatsoever that we saw you standing in circle around the fire before the weekend as we drove by, and I said there's something special going on here. We connected all the dots by communicating with you, and we look forward to seeing you along the path, because we will see you along the path. Thanks,
you,
Brian.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks
Thank
a lot.
you.
Thanks.